Okay. Good evening, everybody. I want to say thank you for looking at another interview with Community Heroes. And today I have the opportunity to interview one of my mentors and good friends and board member of Community Heroes, DeMarcus Reid. So, DeMarcus, I just want to say thanks for allowing us to probe you today, man.
Oh, anytime, anytime.
Okay.
Just
Um,
take it easy on me this time. This is my first time. Take it easy on me.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it, man. First question, just to kind of get a little background on you. If you could just kind of give us a little background about the town you was raised in, your childhood experiences while you were raised here, whether it was Wayne County, wherever your childhood was, and kind of tell about your memory of family gatherings and just coming up throughout the school system, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Little Fremont, North Carolina. Down there, we can about 10, 15 miles from Goldsboro. But my grandma raised me, so I'm my grandma's boy. But actually, even though my grandma raised me, it's more of a village thing. So I had my aunts taking in. My dad was military, so he always checked in when he came home. My mom was around, so uh, basically that's where I was raised at. Went to school at Belfast before it was turned to an alternative school when it was a regular elementary school. And I went to North Wayne, and I graduated from Charles V. Aycott, the best high school in the county, the class of 1995.
Brandon, make
Yeah.
sure you edit that part out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll edit that part out for editorial purposes later on. Okay,
Oh, okay.
good stuff. Um, my next question I want to ask you, man, as you know, with Community Heroes, we focus our spotlight on at-risk and special needs population. And just for me personally, I have muscular dystrophy, so like a lot of individuals I met coming up, I didn't see too many people that had to overcome hurdles like I did and still like being successful. So I tell every time I tell my story, I kind of throw you in there that you were like one of the first young black males that I saw around my age that had an obstacle. You had the job, the car, So I was like, this is somebody I want to kind of learn from. So my question is, could you kind of elaborate a little bit on what your diagnosis is for those who don't know?
Well, my diagnosis is C6, C7, incomplete quadriplegia. Um, Back when I was 16, sophomore, junior in high school, it was unfortunately I got shot in my neck, which bruised my spine. It didn't sever my spine; it bruised it. So that's why my diagnosis is incomplete. So there's a difference between incomplete and complete. If it was complete at my level, I always try to explain to folks at my level C6, C7, that's the Christopher Reid level. So when I first got hurt, I was in that situation. I couldn't move anything from my neck down. And since I was incomplete, slowly through the years, I started having more function. So that happened back then in, let's say, October 11, 1993. So I've been living with this since then. So as far as hurdles, it's like you said, I didn't know anybody, in a wheelchair or with disabilities, with physical disabilities. I think it was like one guy in my town, that I slightly paid attention to, not as much, but he's probably the only one that I have seen that was in a chair before myself. So it was brand new to me, not knowing nobody, not seeing nobody else like me, and of course you're like, well, why me? But at the fortunate thing, but unfortunately, unfortunately, I was young. I was 16. I was too young to realize, what the impact it was having on my life. So I went a little harder because I couldn't believe it. So I think that's what kind of pushed me, just that being young and naive, and not really understanding what the doctor was telling me of just what it's gonna be. I couldn't accept that. She was telling me that I was gonna be a vegetable because of my diagnosis at the time. But I didn't understand that. The only thing I knew, I was ready to get back and drive. I just started driving maybe 7, 8 months. I had my license. So life was really looking up for me. So I couldn't accept at that time of saying this was gonna be it. So yeah, I finished high school. This happened in '93. I finished high school in '95, and then I went to Wayne Community, and it seemed like I've been there since then, as far as a student and employee. So that's where I started my journey at. Started out in computer sciences, then I switched to uh, what was it? Criminal justice, and then I switched back, and that's basically where I've been so far.
Okay, so
Brandon, you done?
first thing I just want to kind of touch on what you just said, which is part of the cornerstone of Community Heroes, that transformation part that I want to really push as our agenda. Like you said, being 16 and not really understanding the ramifications of your um, injury, like you said, instead of accepting what research or what the statistics say, like you said, you push hard. You saw yourself, okay, I'm still able to do these things, and you got your driver's license. Then you pushing them to try to be quote unquote as normal as possible. And like I said, I think that makes a tremendous difference, that mindset. When you start believing that you can do things, you can start seeing doors open. So I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one thing I want to kind of push forward with this program, to tell individuals, don't closely pay attention to what the research and statistics say, because you are control of your own destiny, but it starts in the mind first. So I'm glad you brought that up. So, and then you kind of started jumping to my next question, because my next question I was going to ask you was, could you tell us a little bit about your academic experiences? So you kind of jumped into that, but let me ask you this: what made you want to jump into like more the computer IT field?
Because at the time, being young and naive, I figured, you know what, I'm kind of at that time thinking tech savvy. I can program a VCR. I can do this stuff, not realizing it was totally different. And at the time, I was trying to think of what can I do, because I knew, like, at the time, driving a truck or something, that wasn't what happened at the time. Well, I didn't think at that time. I always had, aspirations that I wasn't going to be in the situation forever. But I needed something right then after high school, because my friends, seemed like they was growing up, they was moving on, and I just needed to do something. So I remember calling the college and just asking questions. I said, well, I just do computer. So it wasn't like I had a great love for it. Just trying to find what to do. Oh, and one guy, matter of fact, there was one guy that was from my neighborhood. He went off to ECPI. He was about a couple years older than me. And when he went to ECPI and he graduated, he came back, he had his first job. He bought a brand new Altima. And I said, man, he's making a lot of money doing this computer thing. So I want to do that. So that's what kind of made me want to do it, because the money wise and plus what I can do. Of course I learned to love it. And the odd part about that story is, 20 years later, the same guy became my student, because probably getting that label, I became an instructor. But yeah, that's where they came from.
Yeah, wow. And that's the person that you, I guess, if I could use the word admire, turned out to be the person that you had to actually instruct later on down the road. So.
Right, and the thing is, I was admiring from afar. Like I said, he was a little older than me. I just seen him coming around, and of course, you see the drug dealers in the neighborhood with the cars and stuff. But somebody who actually had a legit job and was making money, at that young of age, that's why I was like, man, whatever he doing, I want to do. So that's what kind of got me thinking about computers. So that's where that spark came from.
Yeah. Now, you know, it's funny because like you just as I'm listening to your story, you say how whenever you're young, and if you already got a little tech about you, like you said, you could fix the PCR or fix the tape deck, boom boxes back in there,
Exactly.
you start getting degrees and stuff like, oh, my whole computer brother, I'm calling DeMarcus because he got a IT degree. You still working on this, so
Exactly.
it's for free for us. That's funny how that works when you start getting labels. People think you're a specialist already. Um, so my next question I want to ask you, man, is when you got into this field, now knowing what you know, is there something you wish you would have known prior, starting the road in where you're at now? Is there any, I guess preparations that you would have took before you jumped into this career field, or?
But well, looking back now, like I said, when I started out in like '95, like the Windows GUI was just coming out. So that was a while ago. Windows was coming out. But if I would have dug deeper or just had the knowledge, because you got to keep in mind there was no Google anything back then. You just couldn't get online and just go to the internet and search for stuff. So I didn't know, but if I would have knew, I probably would have specialized in one area in computers. But with computers, it's so broad. You got hardware, software, networking, database, website design. And when you say you do computers, a lot of people think that you know it all. So, and when it started at Wayne, the degree was uh, computer information systems. They taught you a little bit about everything, which supposedly you're supposed to kind of choose an area. I wish I would have focused on one area and stuck with that one area and maybe got certified and went that way instead of being so broad. Because that's where, if you're looking into the computer field, that's where the money at when you specialize in something. If you like databases, go in a database. I mean, everything you want to know about database and get certified in that area. You like networking, get into networking and specialize in networking. So I wish I kind of would have did that. And I think I would have had, you know, maybe I would say a bigger career. I'm satisfied with my career, but it may would have went a whole different way if I would just would have specialized in one area. That's why I used to tell my students when I was teaching, that I used to ask them, what do you like about this so far? What sparks your interest? Because whatever sparks your interest, you want to make sure you kind of dive into that.
And that's so true because I know with me starting out my academic career, I started out going away and I got an associate degree in human services. And human services is so broad. I mean, you could be serving ice cream. That's human services, you know.
Yeah.
But they had a gerontology program, and like you just said, if I would have went into that, maybe the substance abuse, like you said, people are always looking for people who are specialists in something. So, it kind of cuts down the time, in my opinion, cuts down your time on trying to find that job, that ideal job you want that's going to pay you what you deserve and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's an excellent point you just brought up. Okay, so my next question is, in the transition of, like I said, when you um, became paralyzed at 16, and having to readjust to life, you know, with this new diagnosis, what was like the biggest hurdle that you had to basically adjust to, so you can still be able to do the things that you want to do?
Let's see. That's a good question. There was so many. Me at that time. Let me tell you, nobody could tell me nothing. I thought I was a ladies' man. So just looking at me like, wait a minute, it's gonna be hard for me to try to find a woman now. That was probably one of the first things I thought about. And I was like, well, how am I gonna get around or what I'm gonna do? So it was just one of those things. I think that was probably the biggest thing in my mind, being young and naive again. Think about women. And then after a while, and I was like, wait a minute, there's more to think about besides this. What am I actually do? And I think I started thinking about a career immediately after that. But then I remember whenever the guy I was telling you about that was in the neighborhood, he was an older guy. He was a real older guy, was in the chair. I remember my aunt brought him to me to talk to me. But at that time, I really don't want to hear what he had to say because I wasn't ready to hear it. And you still thinking that it's not me. But what he was trying to tell me was that I can still drive if I need to. I can still get around because he was driving. At the time, I said, no, I don't want to drive until I can really drive like I was before. But
Right.
after a while, when you start sitting there and the wall started closing in on you, you want to get around.
Yeah.
So trying to get back my independence. I think that was the biggest hurdle of driving and so forth.
Okay. Yeah. And DeMarcus not gonna toot his horn too much, but he gets around just well now. I always pick on you about that. I call it the James Bond picture that he got, where he's like in the
Oh
big
yeah.
with the window rolled down, looking out the window with the sweater vest on. I call it Mr. Monopoly.
Oh yeah. Man, that picture. Oh, that's what 2009.
Yeah.
10? Yeah, yeah.
So he's riding clean, as I call it now. My next question, man, is for our viewers that will watch this and are going to chime in. For those who might be interested in going into the IT career path, what kind of, well, I know you gave them about the specialist, but is there any kind of other advice you would want to give someone that wants to go down this similar path?
Well, I would say make sure it's for you. Don't look at it for the money because if you look at it for the money and it's not nothing you want to do, you're not gonna make the money because you're gonna be bored. So that's the first thing. If you are interested in it or you think you're interested in it, try to pick a path, but make sure that's what you want to do. Because it's one of those things where you're either gonna like it or you're gonna hate it. Or you might be the ones that, as long as I can learn how to turn on a computer and, and Google, I'm fine. And parents, they should stop pushing their kids to do this if that's not what they want to do. Just because your child can set up your iPhone or your Android, don't mean that computers are for them. And I know computers is the future. You have to know something about it. But if it's not something that you are interested in, don't try to force that career path on you because it's something that you're gonna have to enjoy. You're gonna have to like it to stick with it to be successful in it.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So, kind of jumping back again to like just barriers and things like that. My next question is, as you got older and you started, getting into adulthood, and like I said, you started getting your independence with driving and other things. What were some of the resources that you found helpful that helped you achieve your level of independence that you were trying to gain?
Well, once got in my mind that I needed to start trying to do something for myself, I started looking for different resources. And that's what I try to talk to some folks that's in my situation now when they first get hurt, or they ready to talk. I start telling them about programs like independent living, vocation rehab, and their Watchdog CAP, the CAP program. But those are some of the resources that I use to help me get to where I am. When I was going to school, of course, I applied for a financial aid Pell Grant, but also, when I was in the hospital, the counselor, she would tell me about independent living, which kind of helped me, where it helped my grandmother get my bathroom set up for me so I can get in and out because that's one of the main things also is being independent, getting in and out of the restroom. So they helped me with that. Then talking to the counselor for independent living, they told me about vocational rehab when I was thinking about going to school after graduation. So I went to vocational rehab and I talked to them, and actually they helped me also with my travel to school back and forth. You know, I rode a Gateway van the whole while I was at Wayne Community College. You know, and so they paid for that. I tried to search for any resources I could at the time. When I started working 2 years after I started working, a buddy of mine would tell me about Habitat for Humanity. At that time, I was trying to find a place of my own. I was looking for apartments. And when he told me about that, I went and applied for that and got a home through Habitat. So I would say look for any resource that you can. Don't be ashamed to apply for them to help you get to your goal. So those are some of the programs that I had, used to help me get to where I'm at now.
So my next question, I'm going to kind of alter it just a little bit because as I'm looking at it, I don't want you to get put in a predicament. But what academic or professional accomplishment you can say that you're most proud of?
Say it again.
So as of today, what accomplishment that you've achieved that you say that you're most proud of, and it could be it could be academic or professional accomplishment.
Accomplishment. That's kind of hard because it's kind of hard to answer because I can generalize that of just being independent. When you depend on somebody for a long time or a short period of time, just gaining your independence and doing it on your own, I don't think nothing ever beats that. When you
Yeah.
can move about. I know it maybe seems simple to able-bodied individuals, but when you relying on somebody or to get you out of bed, to feed you, do whatever, and then you get on your own and can drive and maintain a home and maintain a career, there's no awards that can outweigh that independence of relying on yourself if need be. Of course, it's always good to have help. Everybody gonna always need help with something, but to be able to function on your own, I think that's the biggest reward. Go along with, like I said, the career and everything else.
Yeah, I totally agree. And if you don't mind, if I just like to tack on to, like you said, not just only do it, be able to function, but you know, I would like to say you do it at an optimal level. Because like you said, you're a husband, you're stepdad. You're involved in the community and different civic organizations, and you work. I mean, there's a lot of things. So a lot of people they get bogged down with just being the husband or just being the mother. Anything else is going to make them go crazy. So to be able to juggle all these things at one time, you do it well. I mean, I've known you for a long time, and so I know you're well plugged into the community, to your home, at work. So I tip my hat off to everything you've done. My next question, we're almost done. Got two more.
No, I'm okay. Keep on going.
Yeah. So the next question is for as far as just support and things like that. Um, who are some of the individuals that you like to lean on in your life? That you feel like whenever you need to, get that feedback or support from someone. Most people have like a select few, so I didn't know if you wanted to share those individuals.
Yeah, I got a select few. I hate to name names because once you forget a name and they see it, they're like, wait a minute, you call me out. But
Well,
I just so
we can give it generic. We can say there's a select few in your time.
well, there's a select few, but of course, from the beginning, I always got to say my grandma. That's just it, because from the time I was small coming up, it's how she raised me and the stuff that she had told me or talk to me about or whatnot, I still see it today. I still reference that. So that's one right there I can definitely say without nobody gonna give me any pushback on. But it's mainly like family. You know, I'm more of a rely on family. I got a big family on both sides, mom and dad's side. So I just say my family basically. You know, advice wise, I go to advice for is probably my dad. You know, he's I won't say a wise old man, but you know, I try to emulate him a lot of times. So he took my advice. So just immediate family. So there's a few. Of course, you got your home, your family. You know.
Yeah, that's what I was out there, you know, because I definitely, being a married man, I definitely understand, you know, I say family, the wife is automatically included.
Yeah. So like I say, you know, that's a given at home base. You know.
Yeah. So, the last question, I'm pretty much done, but the last question is for people that are watching and that are commenting on Facebook and everything. Uh, do you have any platforms that you share information, or you have followers I was gonna let you share those sites if you had anything like that. I know you kind of
I thought this was being able to call you as a friend. I see you doing big things. I remember when you first came out to the school and see where you are now and the stuff that you're building and just to be a part of it, though, man. I appreciate you even bringing me aboard with you. I like hanging with the big dog. I can see you with the big dog.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, I just want to say thank you again, man. And I think this was a great interview for our listeners. You can follow us on our official Community Heroes website, communityheroes.net. And on that website, we have our different other social media platforms that you could go in and follow us. We have our Twitter, our Instagram up there. Let me see, Brandon, am I missing something? If I got my backup Brandon to let me know if I'm missing another.
You can find us on Facebook at Community Heroes, Instagram at com_heroes, and you can find us at Twitter at com_heroes. Don't forget to like, comment, and share on YouTube.
That's right. See, that's why Brandon will back up just in case I slip up.
Yeah, Brandon the man.
Yeah, he's the man. I tell you, man, he's doing some awesome stuff. So yeah.
But you know, hey, look, just to plug and say, you know, Brandon was one of my old students, so you know.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't know that. Hopefully you gave him a good grade.